Besides that, well, I guess Frontline technically is an org. But they can be...
Throwing some accidental shade at the poor Frontline CEO.
Ooh, he's going to hate me. He's not going to be a fan of me.
But who do you have here? Do you have XSET? Do you have Frontline? Because I'm feeling like I want to switch it up and go for Frontline.
Honestly, I could see Frontline coming in here and taking this series if XSET aren't up to play. I think it could go any way. Honestly, despite that, I'll take XSET, but I think this one's going to go 5.
Hopefully we do end up going to 5 games because all of these players, of course, they want to be making it as far through this competition as they possibly can. And in this round 4 match, this is important. This will decide who goes through to certain points in our competition. And you don't want to make it harder for yourself than it needs to be. Whoever wins this, they are through. This is qualification. They will go through 3 and 1. Whoever loses goes through to the dreaded round 5. And they could go out of the competition.
Yeah, so it's going to be important here to see which of these teams really gets started on the right foot, so to speak. We're looking at XSET as they're trying to move downfield, but again, just kind of stuck out. And you can see Andy as he tries to set that up for Delta. Right now, Frontline with the offense. He hasn't had a lot, as the only shot that's been put on so far has been from Alpha Cap this game. Looking at these teams and their play styles. Oh my, there's a potential, and there's J-Pow with a crazy pinch into the net.
Oh, that pinch landing perfectly as J-Pow goes off Andy, dunks it off his roof. Beastabonium doing his best to spin back around. Can't quite get a nose to it, and instead J-Pow is gifted that goal. 90 seconds have gone, and a little bit of luck falling the way of XSET to give them the lead.
Oh, it's just nothing like a pinch goal to start your series off, especially when you're trying to qualify for stage 2. But I think XSET, they're happy with it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you've got to... If you're XSET, that's essentially a freebie. You've not had to send everybody up. It's not been a grueling minute and a half trying to work at every single angle. It was just, okay, I'm going to go challenge. We've got a goal. That's all it was. That's all it needed to be. Zalkep sends it down the pitch. Beastbonium will catch. Central. J-Pow can't quite get on the end of that. And now, Frontline able to send the army.
Yeah, Frontline, they have all the offense here, but it's about what they can do with it. This one drops. That's a chance for Andy. Shot there. Takes 2 from XSET. And still, no goal scored yet for Frontline, but that was a really good offensive strike.
Yeah, it was a decent chance. It was Alfkep in the end that just came down from the sidewall to take it away. A good pass there as well from Delta over towards Beastbonium, who will take it central again, trying to repay the favor and a lot more effectively.
Good goal here from Andy. Beastabonium, look at that, taking his time to get that one right in front, and Andy finds the angle, a great bounce. And that's all Frontline need. Now they're able to tie things up, and they're starting to get a little bit more comfortable here on offense, Stumpy.
Yeah, seeing like that last third, the offensive third for them, it's a little bit like their home at this point. They're getting comfortable with taking a couple of shots, taking their time with passes too. We saw before Beastbonium passed it perfectly central, he was the one who received a pass. And then he was like, nope, I'm just going to take it back round. We'll go for round 2. And Alphaket trying to get that Doom to Dish top corner. Isn't quite able to get it off, however, as Andy can clear it long. J-Pal, though, removing Delta from the middle of the pitch, but can't get the dunk.
So now we're going to see some work here being done. Now, if you think about the goal scored here, XSET get a pinch goal that works in their favor, but Frontline are slowly starting to produce. That's Andy with another goal to give Frontline the lead.
Pretty sure that's the exact same place as the first goal went in as well. The top side kind of placement, just sending it behind the keeper. Had the entire other 3/4 of the net to aim for, but they were all in front of where the defender was sitting. Sent it behind him, much, much harder to save. And Andy has got his shooting boots on today.
He does, shooting 2 for 3 here. Now, again, going back to this for XSET, they're down by 1, 1:30 left. And you talk about this team and what they've been able to come up with on offense. Besides that pinch goal, offense hasn't been looking too threatening. It's almost a moment of dread if you're on the field right now to realize that XSET have not necessarily produced close offensive chances so far in this game. They got lucky to start things off, but they're going to have to work here if they want to tie this up. That's a good shot from T-Corral, but Beastabonium there for the site.
Yeah, there's been a couple of opportunities where we've seen that XSET can have a shot, but they seem to want to take more snapshots than fully developing a play. But Delta and Beastbonium getting in each other's way there. Beastbonium getting the bump on T-Corel as well. Alpha cannot quite get the flick over Delta, as now on the right wing. He challenges T-Corel. Mid boost still sitting, and Andy will take possession of it over J-Pow. Great touch by J-Pow as well to send it over Delta. With 40 seconds remaining on that clock, it's definitely this lead and the win looking likely for Frontline.
Yeah, Frontline just have to keep things up, but watch out. T-Corel, another shot. He's been really comfortable on offense so far. Alpha Cap, oh, that's a big miss here, and now this is spelling danger for XSET. They got to turn things around. They need a big drive here, otherwise this game was not going to go in their favor. There's J-Pow, who's done great work to get the ball downfield. He's followed up by Alpha Cap, who will have to set the scene. Can't do it, so it's T-Corel. Pass out, Delta jumps. J-Pow maybe can set this up for XSET. Alpha Cap going off that corner, but Beastabonium will let it fall.
Fake.
And Frontline sneak through game one.
Nice little fake there by Beastbonium. Didn't know that if he had enough boost to get there. If he did, great. It was going to be a weak touch and behind the attacker. And if he didn't, it fakes low. So great thoughts from him. In the end, Frontline taking game number one. We thought it might be Upset City. And despite XSET's early lead from J-Pow's pinch, Frontline putting on the pressure and not allowing too many more shots to come in for XSET. I think the difference between these two teams in game number one, at least, is that Frontline were very much never getting attached to one play. It was mainly evident in the first goal where there was a chance for Beastbonium to shoot. He didn't quite take it as hard as he could have done, and instead he sets up the second route round, can then pass it central, and Andy gets the goal. So a little bit more composure for Frontline, looking to see a bit more come out of XSET.
Frontline now set the tone with how this one should be going. They clearly have made a point here, Stumpy, to let XSET know, all right, you guys can start off however you want, but we've got that consistent pressure. Andy's feeling good shooting today. And like you said, they're not committing too hard on one play. They're playing this very smart. It's going to be up to XSET to see whether or not they can adapt to it. They start off strong there with a shot, but a great save. It pitched all the way downfield from Andy.
Hoping that that would have been the return pinch, just to get a little bit of karma back on the side. But instead, it doesn't quite go in. And now just backball play. T-Corel can't get to any of the touches either. Alpha kept central, J-Pow shot. Saved away by Delta. And a few chances XSET have had early in this match have just been like that. There's somebody in net, and yet they take the shot anyway.
Yeah, I feel like they're just trying to test the defense, but there's no clear level of follow-up coming out here from XSET. You know, I feel like XSET, a really good team when it comes to playing against, you know, top teams in the league. We've seen them take teams like NRG to Game 5, but it's these teams that they don't really see too often, like Frontline, who tend to catch them off guard. I feel like that's what's going on with XSET right now. They play this one forward, but we'll see how long they can hold on to ball possession.
I mean, speaking about the top teams they've taken even to Game 5, they 3-0'd G2 in week 9 of the grid by the looks of things. They did a stellar job in the most recent week. So they are a really strong team against the top ones, but as soon as they're left their own devices against Frontline, just mayhem ensues.
Yeah, the pinch from Delta, J-Pow backflip, own goals there. He was in a really bad spot though. And yeah, just looks like XSET are just breaking down here on the defensive end. Even really on the offensive end, they're not able to, again, produce on any quality opportunities. Most of the time, it's just been, like you said, a shot that goes at a defender. And it's a pretty easy one to save. Alpha Cap tries to take control here, and that's the most we've seen from him in terms of just being able to get that solo play in front of the box. But this is going all the way downfield. Rotation, where is it? I don't know. But Andy, he'll pick up the goal either way.
Oh, straight to Andy, who can just bip it long. Nobody on XSET even remotely near that blue half. Not expecting Andy to hit that out into a perfect position. The steal cannot quite come in either. So Andy is quite deservedly given that goal. And 2 goals, second of which probably shouldn't have been a goal, but J-Pow making up for his earlier indiscretions and scoring the first for XSET.
And this is nice. He stayed up front after going for the kickoff. Only had 23 boosts at the start of the play and used most of it to get in front of the ball to get that perfectly placed shot. A little bit of extra effort needed for XSET, but they are able to adjust, and they do bring this game back to a 1-goal deficit for them.
And what was different about that shot is that J-Powell didn't take the shot immediately. He turned around, he used that boost and the time that he had. He saw that the defenders were slightly backward. So in the end, he gets the goal from it. He's rewarded for his patience. Hopefully that will set some alarm bells ringing in his head.
Let's hope so. Because at this point, they're going to need somebody to step up for XSET. So far, they've been able to get 1 goal a game, but for their 1 goal, Frontline have gotten 2. And Frontline are looking for 3 right now. They have the ball on XSET's in, and AlphaCap's going to have to be careful with this carry. Plays that high, jumped off the ceiling, but wasn't able to get a challenge there, so J-Powell tries to pick things up. Now J-Powell, I like that, fakes out Delta. Oh, he faked himself out. Pick up the ball, J-Powell. It'll get away from him. Andy will try to play that back in the midfield.
I've never felt a play more than I did that one. The amount of times that's happened to every single person watching right now in ranked, it hurts because you're like, I'm setting myself up here for an amazing chip. And then it just goes over. You're like, of course that happened. Yeah, that happens every time, actually. Painful moment for J-Powell, but doesn't let it face him. As a bit more attack does manage to come out. Andy, though, with 1 flip reset, on target, saved away by AlphaCap.
And Andy getting a little bit more comfortable. I mean, he's definitely been a goal scorer here for this series, scoring, I believe, 3 out of the 4 goals that Frontline has scored so far this series. And he's looking to set up another play again. You give him space, and he's able to do a lot with the mechanics here against XSET. They got to get this ball out of their zone, otherwise they almost were scored on again. AlphaCap will pick up his savior medal, but a minute remaining, they can't get this ball out of their zone.
Absolute relentlessness as well. The amount of times that they've actually had a shot on net isn't that many in this phase of play. They've just sent it towards the net. Again, not a shot on, getting it central. Andy then rotates. That's on target, and AlphaCat was 100% putting that in. Saved away by J-Powell in the end. And again, just going for an assist. Andy sends it high. They're not going for the easy blocks into the transition play. This time wasting has been perfection from Frontline.
It has. Frontline been able to keep XSET in their own half of the field, limiting their shot opportunities while also peppering the net. They let Andy loose and it worked out in their favor, but it's still a 1-goal lead. That might be a 2-goal lead, and it will be. Andy rolls it all the way through to pick up the 3rd goal for Team Frontline.
Andy just securing that MVP nomination from me. Has been the strongest player on Frontline in this matchup, and he manages again to get the most amount of goals in this game. 2 goals, 7 shots he has had. That is a great performance, and this series isn't even over yet. That is the 2nd game going to Frontline. We called an upset, Daz. This is a lot more than I was anticipating.
Yeah, right now Frontline on the path to sweep XSET. Again, 5 goals scored over the course of the series from Frontline. XSET have only scored 2. And XSET on offense has just been very limited. It really does seem like Frontline have XSET handled here. And the way they're moving up the field, the way they're controlling the ball, you're giving Andy all that space, really putting XSET in a tough spot here, because now they're going to have to reverse sweep this team when they really can't even start to score on offense. I mean, there was an own goal that game off of J-Powell. He tried to make it up, but even then, I feel like Frontline are so comfortable and they're so ready for this matchup that XSET not looking good, which is amazing to say, especially when you know what this team can do. I feel like they should just be doing better, plain and simple.
Yeah, I completely agree. They are not showing what they're capable of right now, and Frontline are running rings around them. There was a solid 80 seconds at the end of that match as the clock ran down to the final 30 that was completely controlled by Frontline. There was nothing offered up whatsoever by the guys of XSET. And now in this 3rd game, they need a win here, otherwise they're going through to that dreaded, most nerve-wracking round 5.
And meanwhile, Frontline keeping of a great streak of successful results in the regionals, as they've been consistently placing well and are looking to lock in a spot at the major at the end of the split. So closing out this will be more than just a good day for them. But again, it starts here. We'll see which team steps up, whether or not Frontline close out the series or if XSET can still fight back.
I mean, yet again, it's been full offense by Frontline. Again, a shot on target from a bit of a lucky pinch as well. Beastbonium not opting to go for the board, instead going for the man. Pressure mounting at every single avenue. And it's not necessarily even like we're seeing that the Frontline guys are getting in the faces of XSET. They're just going to wherever they send the ball. Look, Andy taking his time, going a bit slower, saving it away. A great save straight down to Delta. But at no point was there a 50 that came in. It's almost like Frontline are fully comfortable with XSET doing whatever they want because they know that they've got the read, and Frontline in their heads are the better team. That confidence is winning this series.
It is. Pressure on XSET, like you said, you can feel it as they have to show up here. They're not out. They'll just end up, like you said, going to that dreaded round where they just don't want to be. So a win here is definitely on the more favorable side. And they are starting to get some things going. Alpha kept looking for the shot, and it'll just barely go miss. But the follow-up from T. Carell is there. He's been shooting all day, and that will be the one he scores.
That's what me and Cole call a needlessly good finish. He could have gone for like lower or somewhere in the middle just to get the shot away. Instead, he aims it in the top corner, exactly where the defender is.
You know, just gotta get that going, make that statement.
Goal,
yeah.
Statement made. Fair play.
Like a feel-good goal. You ever had a feel-good goal where you don't need to do this, but the fact that you did it, you're like, oh, you know, just builds the confidence.
Yeah, I did that. That was me.
Hi, Mom.
They're going to be happy that they did get that goal because that now obviously sends them into the lead. J-Power wanting to extend that lead, and Alphaket aiming to continue the pressure as well. We've gone over halfway in this game, and we've not seen many XSET's advantages being taken and held thus far in this series, so this could be a first.
Yeah, breath of fresh air, I'd say, for XSET now. And you can see them putting on a little bit more offensive pressure, keeping that possession on Frontline's half. It's, again, a little different, but this could be a sign of good things for XSET. Maybe they finally found a way to break through. Frontline aren't done just yet, though. Still 2 minutes of game time as they're looking to set up play. Just got a little bit more work to do if they want to get past XSET, who have a lot of momentum going for them.
A chance there, sent central towards Andy. T. Carell, though, reading, preventing that play from developing into a terrifying prospect for them to defend. J-Pow up. He was pushed further forward than I think he was comfortable with, but instead he has got the block off anyway. Beastbonium high above the net. J-Pow saved away. Delta 1 and 2 kept backboard. The defense from XSET has got stronger, but we've seen this breakdown previously.
Yeah. We have seen them just get stuck on their own end, not able to break out. And usually Frontline are able to come up with something here, but a minute's passed, and now you got to start looking at the clock at this point. Only so many more drives left. Meanwhile, XSET still trying to see if they can get an insurance goal as time ticks down. 1 goal game as Frontline move down the field. Delta off the backboard. Beastbonium up, but defense is there. Can Delta get this to midfield? No, he'll leave it for Andy. It pinches all the way across, and Tikaro will clear it into space.
Beastbonium sends it low, but none of the Frontline players there to receive. Delta towards Andy. Great defensive play. Goes to the ceiling. Andy chance. Flip reset. Doesn't use it as Alphaket pinches it off his ceiling into that back corner. J-Pound now waiting on the wall. Goes to ceiling. Will get a block as well. Can he get this second touch? Third and fourth. Andy whiffing away. And 20 seconds. XSET with a nervy looking win.
Definitely. 15 now. And T. Carell and the rest of XSET will just try to hold Frontline onto their own end. Maybe a chance here. Beastbonium sees Andy, gets a touch, but T. Carell with the block. Can they keep it up? It pinches out. Beastbonium's up. J-Pow with the dunk. Will T. Carell finish? He will. He'll drop that right in front of the box. Time ticks down. XSET, stay alive.
XSET not having as much of a confident win as we have seen Frontline take the first 2 games, but a win is a win. They're all counted the same. And TFL having a fantastic game there. Shots even across the board, but over double the points of second place. TFL over 500 points. But Andy was let down somewhat on Frontline. Beastbonium, he was rocking 68 points. That's not the performance you need in game number 3 in order to take the series away and to qualify for stage 2.
Yeah, now XSET here. Oh, I have to ready up. XSET here have to, again, just kind of build off of this. It's really tough to build off a 1-goal game, especially when it's only 1 goal scored. Usually, you scored a couple, or it's like a 2-3. But when it's the only goal scored here, it was still very close. And Frontline had some decent success. It's easy to kind of manage the game based on the clock and try to run things down based on that. But you are going to have to come up here if you're XSET and produce again. And what I'd say is a pretty intense situation. Do you think they have it in them, Stumpy?
I think there's the potential for a Game 5. I think this series does deserve a Game 5 as well, but with whiffs like that, I don't think we're going to be seeing anything come out of it. The bang on net coming out from Delta does not end up in a goal, but Frontline coming out here like rabid dogs and shooting at the blue net with fire in their hearts. Nothing coming out just yet, but this is going to be a bit of a belt.
Looking at Delta playing this one off the corner. Frontline kind of starting to struggle, I'd say. They had such a dominant hold early on compared to how they've been playing now. But maybe a chance here. Beastbonium looking for the top left corner, but hit it right towards JPal. Delta looking for the other corner, hits it right towards TFL. Boys are a little bit off the mark here. Almost able to set up some great quality shots, but unfortunately in the way of the XSET defender, so we're still 0-0 in the first minute.
But this offense from Frontline has been pretty fantastic. None of them going in, but the chances are emerging. Beastbonium dunking Kep keeps it away. Now on that left-hand side, Andy, the star player so far for Frontline, wrestles it near enough through too until more players join the fray. 90 seconds have gone, and it's been all Frontline so far. We've seen these games go either way. It's been a Frontline win and an XSET win when there's been a lot of pressure, but you do not want to be on the end of these shots for too much longer, XSET.
XSET, a team with a strong capacity to stand with the tallest of North America, are trying to, again, find those situations, but, first you got to go through the gauntlet. And with this one, trying to pull off a reverse sweep against a team known as Team Frontline. Not the worst thing in the world to do, but they're having a tough time. JPal, though, getting a little bit mechanical. He was looking for a double tap, wasn't able to find it. Frontline now trying to play this out of their own end. Again, a team trying to make a name for themselves. This one, a little shaky. JPal, once again, looking for like a pinch there to help him out, but yet again, this goes the other way. Frontline trying to move things back downfield, but XSET doing a pretty good job clearing this one through. TFL may have a chance here, but Andy off the respawn there in time.
All of these saves and these blocks are like second perfect. Everybody is rotating within such fine margins. It's paying off. Delta can flick it over the top higher than he would have wanted, but can then go for the return shot. JPal and TFL both missing that. Takes the third man of Alpha Kep to take it away. Delta, the demo in the net, pinched away by Alpha Kep. This is everything on the line right now for both teams.
Yeah. Winning round 4 again. Trying to make that stage 2. And Andy, as he's just been, again, one that has just been really a big factor in the Frontline offense. He had a nice flick and then went for some bumps. Pressure here for Frontline. XSET don't want to drop the series. So they're trying to force game 5. Alpha Kep moving these downfield. He did pick up the boost. Set it up for TFL. That's a shot, and that's a big play for XSET.
XSET taking the lead in the final 90 seconds in this matchup. Alpha Kep the pass off the ceiling as well. T-Corel must have pre-jumped that because that is a very quick pass. He was already up. The defender had no idea where he was coming in from. And the top right corner falls victim to the ball sinking in that area. Now 80 seconds, XSET with the lead. Game 5 on the cards. But Frontline, they need to end it here. They want to end it here because a Game 5 is a scary position, especially on the reverse sweep.
Oh, there was a play there. Andy was looking for T-Corel. Didn't see J-Pow. It's a great save. Final minute of gameplay here. It's been 9 minutes of gameplay since the last time Frontline was able to pick up a goal. At least 9. I say that they just haven't had anything successful on offense. They're starting to get a little frustrated, and that's where you're seeing the demo plays come out. But can they tie this one up, like you said, going to a Game 5 here, as nice as it would be for me watching, might not be what they want, and Delta puts up a big shot at a big time in the game.
Delta proving what he's able to do off that ceiling pass again. T-Corel previously for the shot was able to sink it. Instead it gets beaten out by Delta. 38 seconds left, both teams even. If Frontline take this next goal, we're probably going to be seeing them go into stage 2 because there's going to be little chance XSET pick up another. But XSET battling to take us to Game 5. Final 30 decides everything again.
Speed of this game has increased dramatically, and so have the stakes behind it. J-Pow will try to take this downfield. Doesn't have the boost, so Andy plays this one. Speed test. Alpha Cap wins that one against Delta. Now J-Pow moving this downfield. Final 10 seconds. Can he set up XSET? He goes across. Is there anyone there? Off the wall, and Andy will pick this one up. Pushing that one all the way downfield. T-Corel, the pinch will go into midfield, and we have an overtime in Game 4.
Because of course we do. Absolutely needed for this series. Now, Alpha wanted to get the bump on Beastabonian, would have opened it up for T-Corel at the back. Instead, it does fly the opposite end for J-Pal to be demolished away. Beastabonian, a chip on his shoulder at the start of this game. Already got bumped and has bumped a player off the pitch.
Now, Frontline working in this corner here from XSET. T-Corel will try to take that through, looking for a bump on Beastabonian, plays it slow. Won't be able to get it past midfield. Delta with the shot. Oh, Beast went for a bump, but Alpha Kep. That is an amazing save from Kep to keep XSET in. They're trying to go for a quick counterattack, but what a save that was, Stumpy.
I think he did get bumped as well, but he just recovered enough to save it away and into the corner. Huge 400 IQ play there. And now as we approach 1 minute in overtime, Beastabonian starts to go up, then will end up going low. And he will not have too much boost. T-Corel can steal that back one away though. And will that be the start of an offense? You get low on boost and you get low on options.
Now, speaking of options, we'll see what Delta has here as T-Corel was quickly eliminating some of the ones he had. That one, Alpha Kep plays off the backboard and J-Pow waiting here, but still been neck and neck so far in this overtime. Here's Kep. Slow play. Tried to get past 2. Good challenge from Delta. J-Pow, he's been putting a lot of awkward spots on defense. That was another one, but he does buy some time, recovers, gets bumped again. Bye-bye, J-Pow, says Beastabonian. T-Corel trying to pick this one up and will play it into some space, slowing down the Frontline offense for now.
The amount of bumps that are coming up now in this overtime must be more than we've seen in the entire series so far. Both teams going forward, and the shot from Beastabonian saved away from going central by T-Corel. Delta with a brave half rotation keeps the ball in that blue half. Central Beastabonian chance to pass it, will go high. Low boost on the side of XSET as Delta takes it up that right wing. Central again, Alpha Kep, chance for Andy, goes high, attempts the double, J-Pal saving it away. Delta now with one and the second, but above the crossbar. Beastabonian with the pass back, and the attack begins yet again.
A lot of space. Although XSET were able to get it clear, they still have not just been able to regain possession. You talk about their map and looking at all the boosts there, I've seen that map just dry. As if all the pads, all the large boosts has been taken up. They finally get room to breathe here. They're looking to see if they can create something on offense. Like, how long can they hold on to possession as it's cleared their way again here from Frontline, who just have not given up yet. Tigro has to literally demo Andy for this team to finally get some space in midfield.
Like a Predator missile coming down from the sky, removing Andy from the pitch. And Delta wants to continue this attack of play. J-Pal Central 50s it with Beastabonium. Andy will be there first, the most important player on that Frontline roster. Pinch down bounce time, Beastabonium taking it to the corner, but Tikarel stealing that boost away. Could be the start of an offensive play, but Andy sends it long. As soon as either team has a chance to just whip it back to the opposition half, they do so.
Rotation is starting to get a little bit more spread out here. No teams are sending the house, and for a good reason too. Any rotational mistake could lead to a loss in this game. Beastabonium just slams that off the back wall. Miss from Tinkerell, that's the shot! Alpha Cap with the save, more pressure. He'll be needed again as he's able to get that out the XSET zone. Chance for a counterattack. J-Pal takes his time, tries to go for the delayed touch, but Andy had the read. Lightning fast there. It slowed down, but you could just see the explosive burst of offensive action. Oh my, what? J-Pal with the shot, and he sends this to a game 5.
4 minutes of overtime is just enough for Andy to miss and J-Pal to floor pinch it back behind Beastabonium. XSET winning 2 in a row on their firm way to getting this reverse sweep. And that is... that's a performance of a lifetime from Alpha Kep and J-Pal in particular. Teaming up multiple times in defense. Alpha Kep defensively, he had 5 saves in total. And then the opposite way around, J-Pal 5 shots in total. Chance for Frontline, they couldn't take any. And in the end, it came down to XSET to be winning it. Now, game 5, it's a close one.
Talk about a close one. Last few games have been 1-goal games, and this time it comes down to a game 5. And XSET, man, if you are an XSET fan, I'm sure you guys are repping the set well, as they have really just been able to battle back. Now looking at how things have been going on the end of Frontline, I mean, it's definitely a frustrating loss seeing that, you know, you had so much offense, you had so many demo plays, everything was kind of going the way, you know, you usually would expect it to. You're getting in front of the defense, but when Alpha Cap is just becoming the defender of the year with all those saves that we're seeing, there's only so much you can do. So, and especially to lose like how they did with the J-Pal pinch there. I mean, Frontline really got to be in a tough spot because they were up 2-0 in the series at one point here.
I mean, that final goal relied on Andy missing as well. That's all it was. That one error led to J-Pal getting that shot off. The fact that J-Pal continued to go for that attack as well, when Andy, realistically, 99 times out of 100, just gets the hit into the corner, shows these fine margins. And I'm very impressed how J-Pal dealt with that shooting chance, took it well, and gets the goal in the end. Game 5, Daz, I'm going to give you the impossible question. Who takes this? Is it the reverse sweepers or the team defending from the reverse sweep?
Listen, I called XSET in 5, Stumpy, when we started. I'm going to stick with it. I am going to stick with it. I really did think that, you know, going into the series, and especially after the first couple of games that Frontline would have had it, I think Frontline is still a very confident vote if you are kind of on the fence here. But XSET have been really building that momentum, and the way that they're still in this and the way that they're still grasping, I mean, you can't put on a defensive performance like the one we saw from Alpha Cap and then lose game 5. Like, I just think they're going to go all the way with the reverse sweep here.
I'm going to back the defense of the reverse sweep. I think Frontline looked very good throughout that game. They were just thwarted by some incredibly strong defense on the side of XSET. To be honest, I think Alpha Cap stood up massively. Either way, I wouldn't be shocked. Either team that takes this has fought tooth and nail to deserve the victory, because whoever wins in this final game, which, by the way, Daz, is no doubt in my mind going to overtime. Like, we just know that that's where the storyline is taking us, right? Like, it just is.
You know, part of me hopes so. Part of me doesn't know if I have enough energy in me to deal with that stressful of a situation. But
I know how much coffee you drink before a broadcast. You must have enough energy.
I didn't drink that. I didn't drink coffee today, though. It wasn't today. It's a weird day today, you know?
Paz, come on, get some coffee in you, pal.
I know, I'll be back.
I see this going to overtime. That has been where these teams have ended up slugging it out. They have just been taking chunks out of each other. And we are just waiting, everybody, for all players to be happy and connected to this lobby. We're just trying to figure out what exactly is going on, but we'll bring this game as soon as we possibly can. Otherwise, yeah, I think I'm looking at Frontline here to hold their steady, hold well, get into a 0-0 overtime, give it an 8-minuter, and then they get the winner. But now, this is the time that we get to get the final answer.
Game 5 on your screen between XSET and Team Frontline. Winner of this moves on into Stage 2. Loser isn't out. They just got a little bit more work to do. We'll see which team comes out on top. Can XSET pull off the reverse sweep, or can Team Frontline avoid a reverse sweep pretty much and finally close out the series? It all starts here on Champions Field. 4 minutes and 35 seconds left. The game has just started, and already it's been mainly some possession here from Team Frontline. They're looking to push things through and set up on the XSET half, but XSET have something to say. T-Carell fighting here in Alpha Cap. I mean, we talked about him and his Game 4 defensive performance. That's going to be needed here against an XSET team who's going to send everything they got. I mean, the Frontline team is going to send everything they got at XSET.
I mean, they're both going to send everything they've got at each other. This is going to be a hurricane of madness that we're about to witness. Andy getting T-Carell off the pitch. J-Pal, though, can control. His shots have been better ever since he took his time. There was a lot of... It wasn't even... It was the lack of hesitation, which I didn't like coming out of XSET to begin with. And they have quite happily worked their way out of those problems. As the first goal comes out for the defensive demon of Alpha Cap.
Look at Alpha Cap, lines this one up, a perfect shot to say the least. Bounces off the bar and into the top left corner. XSET start this one off with a goal, and early on too. This is a big deal.
Yeah, that's one of the earliest goals we would have seen so far, I'm sure, but J-Power wants to try and get something special to continue this winning streak. Sent high. Andy, the man with the shots so far, gets blocked out. And Beastabonium shot on with the demo. Sent far, though. I was caught in that smoke screen, and all of a sudden the ball was high and T-Carell scores it.
Great clear from J-Pow, and a little bit of overcommit on offense. No one home from Frontline, and T-Carell has an open net to shoot at.
Completely different to how we have seen this series go so far. Normally it's been fought tooth and nail in the back third. Alpha Cap, chance to get a third, and he takes it. That's his second in this game, and the defender was caught completely flat-footed. Thought Andy had more time than he did, but Alpha Cap there lurking once again.
Alpha Cap has been... We talked about the defense here. He says, I think I'm going to have a performance on the other half of the field. Now making some really impressive goals on offense, shooting 2 for 2 as he's gotten 2 of the 3 goals from XSET. And this, you talk about starting off strong. Compared to what we've seen this series, this is an amazing start from XSET. 3-goal lead, Frontline. Oh, they've been lucky to score a goal every 10 minutes. Now they're gonna really have to give everything they've got here, because this is a deficit they haven't been in all series long, and we don't really know if they have what it takes here.
Yeah, it's been this has been the biggest offense that we've seen from any team out of these two so far. No team has gone this far ahead thus far in the series, and XSET, if they continue this trend, it's going to be a high-scoring game. But as we approach half-time, T-Carell will send it high. Delta cannot get the double as J-Pound positions well on the backboard to send it nicely out of defense. That 3-man passing play out of defense sends it all the way to Andy's control on the opposite backboard. No pressure, no space being given up by the clinical XSET.
And XSET being more clinical, a double tap from T-Carell. The shots continue. That one, though, not on target, but still pressure ensues. All XSET have to do is keep Frontline in their own half for another 2 minutes or so. And you can tell they're trying to do that with how much time they're wasting. TFL went for a flip reset, but now it's going the other way. Delta beat on that. It's all the way downfield. J-Pow looking for a 4th goal for XSET. Still a 3-goal deficit, but Frontline seem trapped in their own half.
And the 4th goal for J-Pow will, to be honest, near enough secure this. A great 50. Delta, again, just caught completely flat. That ball not even particularly fast over his hood either. He just didn't expect TFL's 50 to go as well as it did for the XSET boys. 4 goals, the biggest lead by far we have seen come in. Double, I believe, the highest lead we had previously of only 2 goals. And this means that Frontline have a hell of a lot of work to do. Andy wanting to start off proceedings with that flip reset attempt.
Yeah, they're not done. They haven't given up yet, but I mean, compared to what we've seen so far, wait, I may have spoken too soon. They pick up 1 here, so they're not going to go out scoreless. A good play here between Frontline, as everyone needed to get involved to get that finally in front of the net for Andy.
Andy just basically being used as a wall there, just to bounce the ball off to then end up getting it in. Now only 3 goals to separate these teams with under 80 seconds remaining. The double tap from Delta does mean that it can be sent high by Andy, but caught by TFL, who gets the double. Not the triple, as Beastabonium gets it back down that right wing. And be caught by Andy, instead sends it high, but nobody... Oh no, sorry, Beastabonium is there actually, early as well. Both TFL and J-Pow sitting on their thumbs in net, aren't able to get the ball as early as I would have expected. So 50 seconds, time is running out. Frontline need 1 very, very soon, and then 2 more after that.
Yeah, we knew that they'd have a lot of work to do. They're still trying, but they have to be successful with their drives. At this point, the time is just two against them here. If you try to do the math, you just goals and kickoffs and everything would have to go perfect for Frontline at this point. But I mean, you gotta give a shout out to this XSET squad. This is the team that we wanted to see. This was what we knew they were capable of. Andy picks up a goal though with 9 seconds left, still trying to keep that dream alive for Frontline.
It's a good goal by Andy as well, catching Alpha Kept completely off guard. Gets the double over the top as well. And 9 seconds left. Can be done. Everybody always says that it's only 1 second needed. So this will be a safe kickoff for Alpha Kept. Andy needs to get a shot off now. Will not be able to. And instead, XSET secure the reverse sweep. And they will make it through to stage 2. We will be seeing all of the XSET boys tomorrow. And Frontline, they've still got work to do. They're not out, but they have made a right meal of this one.
Yeah, this one is not going to feel good, and it may even bleed into the rest of today. For Frontline, I mean, they did everything right in the early games, right? So much pressure on XSET's end, and they were able to make it look as if, they had this series in the bag. But when it came down time to that game 3, they couldn't finish, and XSET battled back. It was a slow win. Then they started to build up off of that success, and it transferred all the way to a win for them. And, I mean, I know they're not happy to go 5 games against Frontline, but a win is a win at the end of the day. They make it in... they make it into stage 2. Now looking at Frontline, Stumpy, how do you feel about this team in terms of if they're going to be able